And welcome back to the Houston Texans franchise rebuild. Here today, we have a little bit of a different video. We're gonna go through all three games of the last three games of the regular season in today's action. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. I hope you're all having a great day. Please leave a like, comment down below what you thought of today's video, and don't forget to subscribe. So, how are we gonna do this? Well, for starters, we're gonna jump right into this Miami team. We're gonna I'm gonna jump you guys either at the beginning of the second half or during the fourth quarter. We'll go through the game, what happened throughout it, and then we're gonna go through a little bit of the scouting afterwards, and then go into the Lions game, do the same thing, and then talk a little bit about negotiations. And then we'll go into the last game, and then we'll probably see a little bit more of gameplay of week 18 with the Tennessee Titans, just because it is a divisional rival. And then we will go through stats, who will be playing in the postseason. I'll keep you guys updated on any major injuries or anything like that. But let's go check out the Miami team, and then we'll get into either the beginning of the third quarter or the fourth quarter. Taking a quick look at this Miami team, they are led by Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Cam Akers here. They got Mike Linsky still. This team has stayed relatively the same. They still got Tua, Blaine Cadwell here, who they drafted early last year. He's going to be potentially their new starting quarterback. You know, he has the ratings. He doesn't have the strongest arm, but he's an athletic quarterback. But overall, you know, they are built to run the football and get the ball to their two speedsters at wide receiver, as well as Elijah Curley, who was my favorite wide receiver in this past draft class. They have a lot of young talent behind Waddle and Tyreek Hill. This is a good team that honestly is underperforming right now. They have a lot of young talent. I'm expecting this team to be good in the next couple seasons. But hopefully we can get another victory here today, and we'll go see what will happen. And as we are now entering into the fourth quarter, the Miami Dolphins just scored a touchdown. It's been a very efficient day for them offensively. They do have one turnover from Nick Bosa forcing a fumble, and this ball is out, and it's picked up here by Miami. Oh my goodness, I was going to give you guys a recap here, but a fumble by Gino Duvall, the rookie receiver, on the kick return, and now Miami has an opportunity here in week 16. Down by 10 here. Who punched it out? I have no idea, but what a job. It was Springs, I believe so. And now Miami has an opportunity. They're down by 10. 9:51 left to go here, and they are down by 10 points now. Tua is going to hand the ball off to Akers here. Cam Akers and Kareem Hunt have both been very efficient in terms of this running attack for this Miami team. My goodness, I thought I was going to give you guys more of a recap here, but our defense has been playing excellent football, though this Miami offense has been very, very consistent here. Offensively, Dameon Pierce has a couple touchdowns. As you can see here, Nova's able to get a big-time sack. He also has an interception in this ball game. But Dameon Pierce has a couple rushing touchdowns, and Paul Wilkerson has a big 75-yarder for a touchdown. That's right now how we have a 10-point advantage. Matt Gay did miss an extra point because I am terrible at Madden. Here comes Akers yet again, as our defense has struggled today in terms of efficiency-wise, though we have bended but not broken multiple times. Can we do it again here? First down and goal here at the 6 here for Tua. Spreading out this defense. Here comes now Akers yet again, as he's able to get a couple more. Starting this game hot, apparently. Here it comes, second down and goal here. Power formation here for this Miami team, as Kareem Hunt is met in the backfield. It'll be now third down and goal here. Tua staying in this package now. Gonna hand this ball to Hunt, and Hunt is able to find the end zone. Touchdown, Miami. And now they're only down by 3 here in the early stages of the fourth quarter, so I guess we're gonna have to play this one out here. Well, here comes Mason Pryor and company here. He has a touchdown and interception As like I said, Dameon Pierce has scored twice now. We've been really relying heavily on our running game. Pat Vernon has a long screenplay, has over 68 receiving yards here, and he's continuing to break out as he's able to pick up 11 on this carry. Well, we are just looking to finish off this 2-14 team here as Pryor's in the shotgun, looks to throw. He wants now Richard Palmer. Palmer's had himself a quiet day. He picks up 10 on that play. Pryor in the shotgun here, fresh set of downs, takes the snap, he looks to throw, quickly swings it out here to Pat Vernon, tries to make a move, and he's gonna lose a few. We're just looking to take some time off this clock here. Miami has had control a majority of this action here, as Dameon Pierce up the gut gains a couple. Will be a 3rd down and 12 here. 5:14 left to go here in this ball game. Pryor looks to throw. He wants on Duval, but he's going to be intercepted here for the 2nd time in today's action here. Back the other way here, and Miami now has an opportunity. That's Desmond King. We know Desmond King fairly well. He played for us for 3 years, I believe, as both a starting corner as well as a backup. And now Tua has an opportunity here with 5 minutes to go. Miami has yet to lead in this ball game here. We've traded points back and forth. Here comes Tua. He looks to throw, plenty of time in the pocket. He has been sacked 5 times, and he will though find Tyreek Hill, his #1 wide receiver, for a fresh set of downs. Overall, this has been a fun ball game here, and hopefully we can finish it off here. Here comes Tua. Looks to throw, and he's almost undercut there by Adoree Jackson. 4 minutes left to go here at the 31 of Houston. Back to this aerial attack. Here's Jalen Waddle. Fresh set of downs. As this Miami team trying to finish off this Texans team as they've just stayed alive so far in this ball game. More motion here. Going to hand the ball off this time to Tyreek Hill. Hill's trying to break free. He's going to break multiple tackles to be able to get a 1st down. 2 in the shotgun here. Inside the 15 now, trying to take the lead here. 3 receivers to his right, takes the snap, looks to throw. He settles underneath here, and this is, I believe, Elijah Curley with the reception. And now back to this jumbo package here, bringing out 2 receivers, offset I formation now, and Akers is able to break initial contact. They've been doing that all day. Thankfully, we can stop him just shy of the end zone. Well, 2 minutes left to go here in week 16. We have a 3-point advantage, but Miami faces a 2nd down and goal here at the 1. And this is Akers, who's not going to fall into the end zone, just shy. And Miami's going to go hurry up here. Here comes Tua, looks end zone, caught, Galinsky, touchdown Miami. And they'll have the advantage at this point in time with 1:43 left to go. It's going to be up to Mason Pryor and company to find the end zone, and for whatever the hell reason they're celebrating. 1:38 left to go here in regulation. You got to get into the end zone if you're Mason Pryor. He'll start in this aerial attack, looks to throw. He wants Richard Palmer, thankfully caught. Desmond King almost had his 2nd INT. 1:08 left to go. Play action fake here for Pryor. He looks to throw, and he wants Collins on the sideline. He tiptoes. Reception caught here. And now with 1:03 left to go here, we now are in prime position to find the end zone. As Miami brings out multiple defensive backs here on 1st down. Pryor sets up a little screen now for Pat Vernon, who's been having himself a good day. He picks up 11 more. Houston elects not to use a timeout here. 40 seconds to go. Pryor takes it. He looks to throw. Now scrambling, looking for anyone, and he wants Collins, and he got him. What a reception here. And now it's 1st down and goal here at the 2, and Houston still does not use a timeout. Now what do you do here? 15 seconds and counting. Pryor in the shotgun takes the snap. Here comes Pat Vernon, who's able to finish it off. Touchdown, Houston. And now we'll be up here, hopefully by 3, with 11 seconds on the ticker. Well, with 11 seconds left to go here, Miami has to be able to get into the end zone here. They got to do it quickly. Taking a deep shot to the sideline, and this is going to be caught here. Timeout, Miami. Now we'll give Tua one last opportunity. to get into the end zone here. 6 seconds to go. You still have 2 timeouts. You can't afford to take a sack here. Here comes Tua. Heaves it as far as he can here, and this ball game is going to be intercepted. Intercepted there by Dory Jackson to finish off week 16 here, as Houston will be getting the victory. It was a fairly close ball game. It went back and forth. We were up by 2 scores entering into halftime, but Paul Wilkerson and Dameon Pierce caught up, Paul Wilkerson caught a long 75-yard touchdown. Dameon Pierce rushed for a couple, and Pat Vernon capped us off here, and Stephen Dalton was able to pick up a fumble for a touchdown. We were able to get a 5 sacks in this ball game, but turnovers kept Miami in this game. It was a close, fun matchup here. Like I said, guys, I'm going to be playing these games and, maybe commentate during the 4th quarter. And it was only because of the Geno Duvall fumble was the reason why I decided to commentate throughout the whole quarter. I was not expecting to do so. Mason Pryor did not have himself the greatest of days, but a solid day. 76 completion percentage, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. Pat Vernon continues to impress, 88 more rushing yards. You see Pat Vernon has 75 added, so he had over 100 yards from almost over 100 yards of scrimmage. Wilkerson, 81 yards. No sacks allowed defensively. Who picked up the sacks? Nick Bosa, Brandon Smith, Nova, Harris, and Jalen Petrie. And we got 2 interceptions there, so excellent day here for our team. Get another victory. After that ball game, we have 2 upgrades here. We'll start with our first round pick of a year ago, Devin Gardner. We'll go with power to get 1 upgrade, plus 3 run power blocking. Here are his ratings. He's a solid center. Really like how Gardner has been developing. And then we have Stephen Dalton here, who's been an excellent edge rusher. And I'm going to go with a speed rusher this time, trying to make him as well-rounded as I possibly can. Get plus 2 finesse and agility as well. So really helping him out as much as we possibly can. And as we sim to the next week here, we're going to be playing against now the Detroit Lions, who are currently 10-5 here. They're currently the number 2 seed in the NFC. We're right now still the number 1 seed. Not too much change here. I think there's just some movement in terms of the wild card stuff, but this is really our last really big foe of this season in terms of record, though we still have the Tennessee Titans, who look like they're trying to make a playoff push, potentially. I don't really know in terms of anything or everything. Yeah, but Tennessee does have an opportunity in week 18. But let's go check out this Lions. Actually, no, we're going to go through scouting real quick. Let's go through the scouting. So, the big thing about this up and coming draft is that, when you look at this team moving forward, we got to kind of set them up for both sim as well as cap. And, these are all the players that I have scouted, and we're going to go through them fairly quickly, but kind of want to be meticulous with them. A couple quarterbacks that I like, Sal Gore and Mike Cooper here, 2 late round, 2 UDFA players who, with a 7th round pick, maybe we'll take a chance on one of them, though I still like Daniel Williams, very much so. Now, Manny Anthony here, definitely a running back that I'm very intrigued with, 22 years old, not the fastest at all, but I think he could be able to take, with that A, ball vision and A, break tackle. That's what really is intriguing me as a late round prospect. And Roman Oliver here, more of a power guy. Same type of thing, kind of want some more information on him. He might not be a physical specimen, but hopefully that break tackle is good. I'm assuming that's probably like an A to a B. So 2 running backs here that I'm intrigued with, no fullbacks. We'll talk about receiver after this Detroit game, but receiver is going to be a very interesting spot during free agency, and I do think drafting a young guy later in the draft does make a whole lot of sense. And each of these guys bring a different skill set. A couple of them are day 3, all these guys are day 3 and beyond, and that's kind of where I'm looking mostly towards. I'm thinking with our first 2 rounds, you know, first and second round, and even hell, the third round, you know, we're going to be aggressive and go get the players that we really want. Now, you guys might be wondering, why am I really focused on a first round tight end and a second to a third round tight end? You know, with tight end, what's his name? Crap. Who's our starting tight end's name? You guys can clearly see I blank on names all the time. So let's just go see this. I think, fuck. I can like imagine his name, but I just can't. Yes, Richard Palmer. But Richard Palmer, you know, he's going to enter into the last year of his deal. And so, you know, we got to be considering drafting a tight end in the first, you know, couple rounds. And I think that, you know, this draft does have 2 tight ends. Gabriel Farrell here is my favorite between the 2 of them. He's more of a deep threat from Texas A&M. He has great to elite speed. He's a physical playmaker. And I think he would be an excellent tight end to just add to this team. In terms of the offensive line, it's kind of the same thing. It's not like the best line class. It's more of a good center class, in my opinion. If we're going to draft an offensive lineman, it's mostly due to the fact that I think that Tunsil will not be around much longer. But overall, I think there's a few good linemen here. We might take a chance on one of them. You guys all know me. I love taking my pass rushers late in the draft, and Martin Robinson here. Hey, that A finesse moves, 21 years old, 5'11". You know, he reminds me a lot of Stephen Dalton. You know, hey, if he could be an excellent pass rusher coming off the bench, I'm all for it. You guys know me. You know that I like that. You guys also know that I like taking good run-stopping defensive tackles. Now, Jalen Archer here, he's more of a finesse rusher, which definitely intrigues me. He's a good athlete here. He's a 3rd to a 4th round pick. I think we could draft him in the 2nd round and be very happy with Archer. It's the same thing here, though more of a run stopper, and Terrence Brooks here, 21 years old. In my opinion, he's more of a run stopper. He has a great to elite strength. You know, he's going to be an excellent run stopper. If we need to draft someone like that, we should definitely consider it. Off-ball linebacker is definitely something that's on my mind. Zach Wells here, in terms of the right or the left outside linebackers, is the best. He's the best speed to athletic. He also has the A zone coverage. Really intrigues me. But these middle linebackers here is something where we're going to be considering highly in the 1st round. Stephen Ford, Isaiah Stokely here, Justin Cannon. Though, in my opinion, Justin Cannon here, probably the best in coverage. Stokely here is probably the best well-rounded linebacker, and Stephen Ford, we just know where he could potentially be drafted, a 1st to a 2nd round player. He's a good athlete. He has solid ratings across the board. We know what he is. It's just that, you know, do we take a chance though on Stokely or Cannon instead? And that's really the question. In terms of the cornerback position, there's a few corners in the middle of the rounds that I really like. Each of these guys are quality in at least man to zone or zone coverage, and as well as they're good in press, and that's kind of what I'm looking for. Though Charles Rucker has that A catching, which you all know me, I love my interceptions. Not the best of athlete, probably more of a slot guy. It says zone, but probably more of a slot guy anyways, but who knows. Though safety is the other spot that we have to be considering. Each of these safeties that I've looked at, I think can play both play strong and free safety, and that's really what we're looking for. And the player that I'm probably gonna try to get more information on is Pat Keys here, 21 years old, hybrid or safety, good to great speed. We gotta be thinking of life outside of Jalen Petrie as well as Jabril Peppers. So, you know, maybe in this draft class we do that. We'll talk a little bit more about that after this Miami. We just played against the Dolphins. After this Lions game. So let's check out this Lions team and then get into the game. And here are the Detroit Lions, led by TJ Hawkinson, Frank Ragnow, Amani St. Brown, Zach Franz, the first ever player drafted in this draft class, has not developed greatly. He's really going to become a backup quarterback at the end of this season, though they're winning. DeAndre Swift will be missing today's action here. But this team has an excellent group of wide receivers. Some they've drafted, some who they've brought in. They have a good tight end, and they are loaded. And I mean loaded in terms of the offensive line. They have one of the better lines in the league, as well as they have one of the best defenses line in the league, led by Aiden Hutchinson. And, you know, this is going to be a fun matchup here versus this team, though. Mike Hughes will be out this week. Darnell Holmes, as well as Stanley Cummings, is going to have to step up in today's action. And we'll see what will happen here. I'll end up doing the same thing. I'm going to see right around halftime if it's intriguing enough to just commentate it. If not, I'll just take us to the fourth quarter and commentate either the entirety of it or just some of it. Well, let's try this again. We're entering into the last stages here of the third quarter. We have a 14-6 ball game. Detroit was just able to get a 3-point lead, or 3 points. And thankfully, Duval did not fumble on this kick return here. Though Dameon Pierce has a couple rushing touchdowns, we have relied heavily on our running game so far in today's action. And hopefully now we can be able to close out this game and get another victory under our belts, as Nico Collins is able to make a good catch and run here. I'm hoping that we will be able to get another score here and be able to put a dagger, hopefully, in this Detroit team here, as this Lions team has been playing pretty good football, though it's been difficult for them to be able to stop our running game. We've really relied heavily on that. 24 carries to 16 pass attempts here, and we're going to go with our 21st carry here with Dameon Pierce, over 130 yards and a couple touchdowns. Iron an empty look here. Last few seconds here, the third quarter, looks to throw, and he wants Richard Palmer, and Palmer reels it down here at the 20. As we enter now into the fourth quarter here, up by 2 scores, looking to go up by 3. Here comes another Dameon Pierce run, and he's going to be able to get 5 more. Pryor's had himself a very efficient day, and defensively, we've been playing just very sound football. Here comes Pryor. He looks to throw, scrambling. Now he'll throw it away. So we face a 3rd down and 5 here. Pryor takes the snap. He looks to throw now. Slings it over the middle. He wants Paul Wilkerson. Ball's up in the air, and it's going to be intercepted again. Well, first INT of today's action here. And that's going to give this Lions team a little bit of life. Empty look now here for Zach. As he takes the snap, he looks to throw. Failing the rush there by Bosa. Got it away. TJ Hawkinson finally gets involved. I think that's his first catch of today's action. As Detroit faces a 3rd down and 6, trying to avoid the quick 3 and out, and it's going to be another sack here. Nick Bosa, his 2nd sack of today's action here. He was able to get a half one earlier, but now he's able to finish off Zach here on this play. Pryor and company starting in Detroit's territory, going to stay with this ground and pound approach here. Gain of a couple here for Dameon Pierce. Just trying to put this ball game away now. So far, really not a most exciting affair, not like last week or last game, as this pass here over the middle was for Richard Palmer. As time continues to click here, right around 7 minutes to go. Pryor takes the snap. He looks to throw, wants a deep shot here with Collins, and he had him open. 3rd down and 9 here, 6:30 to go. Pryor takes the snap, feeling some rush. He needs Collins, and he got Collins. 1st down and more. Just Mr. Reliable right there for his young quarterback. Nico Collins does it again. Now motioning Paul Wilkerson as they're going to flip it out to Wilkerson with his great speed. And Wilkerson is able to get the conversion. As it will be a 3rd down and 9. Houston can pick up a 1st down. Takes the snap, looks to throw. And he's feeling the rush. Sack, fumble picked up here by Detroit. Back the other way is Aiden Hutchinson. And with this play here, Detroit will be getting back in today's action now. Touchdown Detroit. And now they're going to go for 2 here and be able to attempt to make this game again tied up at 14. And here comes the 2-point try here, and we would have a tied up game here with 4:49 to go. Zach takes the snap. He looks to throw. Plenty of time. Pressure, though. John Dawson back there for the sack. And we still have a 2-point advantage. And more commentating that I have to do. Well, here comes Mason Pryor. Now you're only up by 2 points. You got to be able to find the end zone here and take time off the clock as Dameon Pierce gashes this team yet again. His 25th carry of today's action. Pryor now turns to the shotgun here, takes the snap, he looks to throw, wants Richard Palmer underneath, and he got Palmer, and Richard is almost, and he actually got the first down. Fresh set of downs here, ball placed past midfield. Here comes Pat Vernon, the speedster, is able to get the first down and a lot more. Houston utilizing every tool in their toolbox now. 3:20 left to go. Now motioning Juno Duval as Duval is going to get the little jet sweep now. Duval will get a yard. It'll be a 3rd down and 9 now. Pryor, play fake, looks to throw. He wants Collins, and he got Nico Collins. Fresh set of downs for 15 more. Nico Collins continues to show his abilities here. Pryor takes the snap. Now he wants Calvin Ridley. Ridley underneath. Now he gets 8. And here at the beginning of the 2-minute warning, Houston is driving, dagger in hand, up by 2. Pryor takes the snap. He looks to throw. He wants Collins, and he almost got picked again. And now Houston will send out their field goal group, trying to make this game by 5, I believe. And it will be up and right down the middle, and that quick math was correct. Minute 49 left to go here in week 17. And Zach Fernandez has to put this team on his back to find the end zone. He looks to throw, settles underneath to St. Brown. He reels it down for 6. But Detroit faces now a 3rd down and 4 here. Gotta be able to get this conversion. You still have all 3 timeouts. Zach will put 3 receivers to his right. He looks to throw. Wide open is Williams. He gets the first down. More hurry-up offense coming out of Detroit. Zach looks to throw, saving those precious timeouts. Running back breaks initial contact, shoved out of bounds. Time continues to click. 46 seconds to go. Here comes Zach. He looks to throw, sends it to the sideline. Hawkinson again. Don't forget, if you're Detroit's offense, you gotta be able to get into the end zone. You've yet to be able to do so. It's been your defense as your only touchdown. Pass goes underneath now, as this play will get the first down. Time has to continue to click here. Timeout Detroit. 23 seconds to go. 2 timeouts in your back pocket. 35 yards until Pater. Here comes Zach. He looks to throw. Plenty of time in this pocket, and this pass is wildly thrown. 3rd down and 10. 10 seconds to go here. You got to be able to get this conversion and get to the sideline. Zach takes the snap, takes a deep shot here, and that is Derek Stingley, knocks it away. And now it looks like Detroit's settling to go for a Hail Mary attempt here with 6 seconds aboard. Here comes Zach. He heaves it into the end zone now, and his defense knocks it away. It's a turnover on downs. That should be the ball game. And here in week 17, the Houston Texans will be beating the Detroit Lions 17-12. In a close game here, actually. Not a lot of offense. Both defenses really played well. Dameon Pierce found the end zone a couple times. We got a few sacks. A couple turnovers kept Detroit in today's action here, which is definitely something that kind of troubles me. It's, when we play against really some of the better opponents, and a lot of the better of opponents are in the AFC, they will make us pay. And right now, though, we are lucky to leave this ball game with another victory under our belts. As right now, this is probably one of Mason Pryor's worst days. Dameon Pierce, though, went over 150 yards, 2 more touchdowns. Richard Palmer added 8 catches and 80 yards. And Nico Collins had himself a good day. Bunch of sacks allowed, which is unfortunate. And then we got a couple of our own. David Elliott stepped up. We've been playing him a lot more in these last few ball games. Just want to give him some playing time right now. No interceptions. We got another victory. We get 2 more upgrades, and this one we'll do with Dameon Pierce now. We'll go with elusive back for him, make him a solid 95 overall, or playing like one. He's actually a 92. Here are his ratings, and you know what? From a young runner, he has really developed nicely in this franchise. And then for Nico Collins, we'll go with playmaker this time. Takes away his scheme fit, which is okay. Get some juke, medium route running, and a little bit of everything. Here are his ratings. He's a top 10 wide receiver in this league, and he definitely deserves to be. As we sim to the next week, we are right now 15-1. One more game until going 16-1. And are we still currently the #1 seed? We are. Not a lot of changes. It's only to the wild card teams. And I don't know if Tennessee has a chance here to get into the wild card. Let's go check that out very quickly. They're 8-8 at this current moment in time. So do we hold their chances here? And we kind of do. They need a lot of help here. They got to get the victory. And do we want to help them or not? I don't really care. You know, we know how good they can be. But, you know, I think we are one of the best teams, as Kansas City lost a couple more. Though we do have some upgrades to do before we check out this Tennessee team. We will be starting the backups in today's action. We have 3 upgrades. We'll start here with Christian Harris. We'll go with pass coverage, just trying to keep that as high as humanly possible. Get a tackle as well as some coverage. He has 90 zone coverage. Then you have Mason Pryor here. We'll go with improviser this time. We haven't done that one in a while. Trying to work on some of the other ratings. We get both medium and short and throw under pressure and break sack. So here are his ratings now. And then finally, we have Roman Nova here, which we'll go with field general. He's playing like a 90 overall. He's actually an 87, but we get a lot of good upgrades here. Happy about that. So I talked about it a little bit before we entered into the Detroit game, which is the negotiation period. And we will be making a couple signings or we'll start some negotiations. So we have a lot. We have $90 million here, and we have 17 players to still debate about. Obviously, we have Tunsil, we have Paul Wilkerson, and Roman Nova. These are really the big 3 currently that we have to make decisions on, especially between Nova and Paul Wilkerson, which I'm going to talk about in just a second. Then we have Adoree Jackson, Rashad Evans, and Calvin Ridley. You know, these 3 players are luxury players on this roster. You know, right now none of these 3 players are priorities in terms of re-signing. These are 3 players that I look at as very good veterans that are going to try to help us get to the Super Bowl this season, and hopefully we can do so. You know, then we have Tevin Booth, Christopher Lockhart, 2 young players here. You know, right now on Tevin Booth's end, I don't know if I'm going to re-sign him. You know, he's a good tackle. He's a good player. He's a good player. He's a solid B player. But I think for a 2-year, $10 million, which I think is just outrageous for a starting right tackle in this league, this is probably not a contract that you know, I will do just yet. I do think that we have to be smart. Don't forget, we are not paying Mason Pryor at this current moment in time. For Christopher Lockhart, the problem with him is this: he wants 2 years, but I mean, I would be willing to give him more. Really the problem is that, you know, he wouldn't be a starter until 27 and 27, 28 years old. He's going to be at that moment in time like an 80-ish overall, 81. And by that time, you know, I don't really know if his skill set is really worth in terms of sims and everything. You know, he's on the roster as a quality safety, but I just don't think that Christopher Lockhart right now deserves a contract. Then you move to Stephen Dalton here, and this is a contract that I want to do. The demand has gone up a little bit. The thing is, what you guys have to remember is that between both John Franklin Myers as well as Nick Bosa, their contracts are over at the end of next year. Nick Bosa wanted $40 million basically a season. We don't have another edge rusher. You know, yes, Dwight Pianzo can play on the edge on the end and on the inside. Same thing with David Elliott. Elliott is a massive question mark, and Dwight has produced on the interior of this defensive line. So I do think that Stephen Dalton should be a priority out of a lot of these signings. And, you know, he's a good player. The thing about Dalton is this: will he ever be a 10-sack guy? Probably not. But will he be a solid contributor? Absolutely. And I think keeping him for this franchise for 5 years makes a whole lot of sense. And, you know, I think he will continue to develop. This is a contract that we're going to try to work on right now. For Cam Robinson, Matt Gay, and all these guys behind, you know, they're good depth. You know, Pat Vernon is a fun story, but just probably not a player that I'm going to look to re-sign. Ben Powers we'll work on later. And then we all know that I'll keep Christian Thomas for the rest of this franchise. So let's start here with Christian Thomas. Why the heck not? We'll pay our fullback. We'll give him a nice 6-year deal, $18 million, because, hey, why the heck not? Christian Thomas re-signs. Happy to have him. And then let's give a contract here to Steven Dalton. Though I don't want to give him a 2-year deal. I want to give him a 4-year deal. Give or take about $26 million. He wants to be here. He's a good edge rusher. And you know what? Worst case scenario, he's quality depth. So we'll give him this offer. He re-signs. He's happy to stay in this organization. And then the final contract that I want to definitely get out of the way is to Tunsil. And you know, Tunsil's a very good tackle here for us. And we'll make it a 1-year, $19 million. He re-signs. And that does take a good chunk of change out of our pockets. Now sitting here with $70 million, these are the two contracts that we got to talk about. You know, I always try to add a little bit of, I try my best to add both realism as well as just what the players would do in real life. And let's be honest here, a 4-year, $77 million for Paul Wilkerson, he absolutely deserves that. The problem is that we don't know how much Mason Pryor's gonna want, and we're gonna have to dish out however much money he wants. And then you throw on top that we have Nick Bosa. We have to make the decision on him, and we have to make decisions on other key starters around the team. So when you think of the number 2 wide receiver, you know, as much as you can sit here and say Paul Wilkerson is one of the best in this league, and he really is, he's very good. You know, I think there's an argument to be made that, you know what, he, as much as he deserves $20 million plus this season, you know what, we could draft someone and replace him pretty quickly. We did draft Gino Duvall in the first round. There is a reason I did that, and that is for this instance exactly. For Roman Nova, you know what? It's the same thing, though it's at a position of not that of importance. A 5-year, $52 million? That's a lot of money for another off-ball linebacker when you're already paying someone in Christian Harris. And, you know, for Nova's sake, you know, he's quality coverage. He's an excellent athlete. He's a top 7 off-ball linebacker, but he's not going to force fumbles. I mean, he has in his career, and I don't know how he's going to play in the sim. But, you know, he's an excellent playmaker. The thing is this, I do not know at all how Nova's going to really play in terms of the sim stats. I think he will be fine. I think he will be good. The problem is that do you want to pay $10 million for another off-ball linebacker on the team when you already have Christian Harris? You know, when you look at kind of this team, let's really take a deep dive at this. You know, you got to make a decision on Mason Pryor, and Pryor you're gonna definitely re-sign. You know, he's your quarterback. You're already paying Dameon Pierce about $10 million a year. Of course, you want to continue to keep him. Then you have Nico Collins on this massive contract here, north of $24 million a season. Now you're paying another receiver $20 million when you have both Duvall and Tyler Millerton, 2 young guys that could potentially step into this role. I don't know. I have no idea. And then, of course, you know, when you flip it over to this offensive line, you got to make decisions here on this offensive line. And now, this is where I would move Troy Agnew to tackle. I think he is very capable of doing it. He is strong enough to handle it. There will be a little bit of an issue in terms of pass protection, but I think he could handle right tackle, which is why I don't think that keeping Tevin Booth makes a whole lot of sense. But then you flip it over here to the defense. You know, we just re-signed Steven Dalton. You know, what are we going to do with Nick Bosa? Who the heck knows? Nick Bosa at this current juncture does not want to even to be here. You know, it's really right now the financials is what the only thing that's driving him to want to play here in Houston. But can we be able to keep him? Are we be able to keep multiple players over $100 million contracts? You know, we have David Elliott's contract to consider. When you flip it over here to the linebackers, of course, you're already paying Christian Harris $15+ million. Can you pay another linebacker the same amount? And then you throw it over to the secondary. You got to re-sign Marcus Cook. You know, he's a top tier cornerback in this league. And then you have to re-sign both Jabril Peppers and Jalen Petrie. You know, I right now, these contracts are very difficult to decide on what to do. And what I truly think what we should do is wait. One of these guys we will give a contract to. The other contract we will give a franchise tag to and see what happens. You know, I think best case scenario, a player that I would want for a longer term period of time is Paul Wilkerson. At least in terms of this draft class, I think that we could replace Nova much easier than we could replace Paul Wilkerson. But at the end of the day, these two guys want a lot of money, and I don't know which one or both. I mean, when you look at it like this, you're paying him $17 million. That puts us at $51 million. 17, and then you pay him 10. You know, we would be right around entering into free agency, right around $40-ish million. You bring in a couple veterans that could help out the team. Maybe, I mean, it works. The problem is that, you know, after the contract of Mason Pryor, it changes the dynamic for the entire team. So I have no idea just yet what we're really going to do with these two players. With the rest of the players, you know, I think we're gonna kind of stay pat here. You know, obviously a player like a Ben Powers will try to keep. Same thing with a Matt Gay, who's a good kicker. But, you know, do we really want to be paying Gay $5 million a season? I mean, we could, I mean, obviously, but, you know, right now, Ben Powers is probably the only other contract that I know that I want to dish out, and we'll give that to him just for the 69, or the 68, excuse me. Let's see if he just takes this, and he does. So we'll keep our depth lineman here for another season, but these are the two big contracts that we have to decide on. So I don't know just yet, but we have another game to get into right now. I think the difference with this game is that I'll probably end up commentating either I think I'm gonna commentate the second half with this game. I am gonna have the backups in throughout the entirety of the game, and then after it, we'll go through the postseason. Get ready for the postseason and show off some stats. As we're heading into halftime here in week 18, the Houston Texans have a 14-7 advantage over the Tennessee Titans, or 14-7, 14-10. It's one of those scores, 14-10. That's the advantage we have right now with our backups in. Daniel Williams is getting the start this week, and he's thrown a couple touchdowns. Gabe Davis has a long receiving touchdown, as right now it's a very close action here today. So far, we're looking fairly good. I mean, when you think about it, we have our backups out there, so it's kind of hard to judge if, you know, if it's mostly our team or if it's the Tennessee Titans having a good day. But overall, close, fun matchup so far. As Deshaun Winfield here will start at his own 25, down by 4, trying to get back into this ball game. He'll start with the I formation. Here comes Derrick Henry, who's kind of been busy. His 10th carry goes for 3. We do have some role players out there on defense and some role players out on offense. You know, we can't have a full backups out there, as this play is again wide open is to Davis. Our secondary is not the best with our top 2 cornerbacks, but that's okay. Ball placed right around midfield here for Winfield, as he's trying to take back this lead here, as he did have the early advantage, as here comes Henry rumbling and tumbling for 6. Second down and 4 now. Past midfield, here comes Winfield dropping back. He looks to throw it, looks to take a deep shot here with Davis, and Gabe Davis does it again. He's putting on a clinic over this secondary here. My goodness. I know Gabe Davis already has 172 yards off of 7 catches. He's been their offense. Here comes Derrick Henry, who will find the end zone. Touchdown, Tennessee. They will take back the lead here in the early quarter of the first half, or the second half, excuse me. And here comes Daniel Williams. So far has been playing good football. 2 touchdowns, 1 to Geno Duvall, 1 to Brock Morgan, motioning now Duvall. And Duvall, with his great speed, won't go far, get back to the line of scrimmage. So far, Duvall has been the offense here. Offset I formation. Here comes Devon Wooden, the rookie back. He gets 6. As now Williams faces a 3rd down and 4, turns to an empty look. Takes the snap, he looks to throw. He looks for Richard Palmer, who's playing in today's action. That passes off the mark. We'll have to punt. And now Tennessee has an opportunity here, early stages of the 3rd quarter, to take this game by 2 scores. Here comes Derrick Henry, who's going to rumble and tumble for 5. I mean, don't forget, we have our backup front 7 out there. There are a few starters, but ultimately, these guys are young and they're tenacious here, as this run here for Henry is able to go for a 1st down and more. Now, when you look at this defense right now, currently out there, you know, Brenton McLean out there, he's getting some significant playing time at the number 1 corner spot, and he's going to be expected probably next year to be the guy, you know, and probably in the slot, replacing Adoree Jackson here. You know, we have David Elliott right now out there. Same with Stephen Dalton and Dwight Pianzo. You know, so we have our young our defensive linemen out there, and we know what we expect from them in these upcoming years, hopefully to become this defense's top edge rushers. So we have John Dawson out there getting some significant snaps as the primary run stopper. As this quick pass here will go to Gabe Davis yet again. He gets another 1st down. And heck, even at safety there with Larry Young, the rookie safety, he's going to be expected probably in the upcoming seasons to become a starter, as this is Henry for 7 more. Now, right now on this defense, and hell, even on offense, we have a lot of future starters here, which is why I want to give them this playing time for some XP, as that's Bishop, who's more of a pass rusher at the defensive tackle position. But we're giving him as much playing time as he possibly can handle it. And he is huffing and puffing. I formation here. Now here comes Kyle. Kyle up the gut. 1st down and a lot more, and he's breaking free. My goodness, his first carry goes for 16. Fresh set of downs here as they're going to enter inside the 25 of Houston, as this is Henry yet again. He's met in the backfield, gain of 3. But giving a lot of the key starters a good rest this week. I know right now, currently, I think we have sealed the number 1 seed, but hey, another week wouldn't help in terms of health of this team. As Winfield now faces a 3rd down and 7 here. He has yet to utilize his legs. He's feeling the rush by Bishop, and he has to throw it quickly, and that will force Tennessee to kick a field goal. Now Daniel Williams has some work to do, down by 6, trying to continue to get some victories under his belt. And here's Devon Wooden, the rookie back, gains a couple. 2nd down and 8 here. Empty look now for Williams. He looks to throw. He wants Palmer, and he's been his favorite target. And Richard Palmer reaches out, doesn't get the 1st down. It's 3rd down and inches. This might be the only time you see Damian Pierce out here. 3rd down and inches here. He looks to throw as Williams. He will find McBride. 1st down and a lot more for the backup tight end. As we enter now into the 4th quarter, the last quarter of the regular season here in week 18. We're down by 6. Can Houston have a comeback? Here comes Devon Wooden. He gets 6 yards on his 8th carry. And here on 2nd down and 4, look who's out there, the fullback dash quarterback, Emmett Olson here, as he's going to do a little read option, keeping himself here, and he'll make it a 3rd down and 1. Olson, who we drafted in the I think with the 7th round draft pick, he is a hybrid player. He looks to throw. The fullback quarterback looking down the field, and he had an open Tyler. It's incomplete. It's 4th down and inches here. Houston's looking to go for jumbo package. Fullback handed it off to the fullback, Christian Thomas. 1st down and more. Why not? Let's have a little fun here with Emmett Olson here. He's a 52 overall quarterback. He looks to throw yet again. Slings it here, and he gets Richard Palmer. His first career completion goes for 7. Olsen in the shotgun here. Vernon's the back. Takes the snap. Gonna do a little read option here. The fullback with rumbling and tumbling. He can do it all day. Second down and goal here at the 13. Olsen looks to throw. Standing strong, and he throws it. Somehow Brock Morgan came back and got the football. What the hell is happening? I've been waiting all season to see Emmett Olsen out there at quarterback. It's now third down and goal. He takes the snap. He looks to throw. He wants Tyler in the end zone. Caught again by Morgan. Off the deflection. It's fourth down. It's fourth down and goal here at the 3. They're going for it. Olsen dropping back. He looks to throw. He has Richard Palmer, and it's off his hands. Turnover on downs. God damn it. Well, turnover on downs. Tennessee takes over here, relying now on the backup defense is Houston. Gotta stop the King somehow, and Derrick Henry still shows off the power, gain of 5. Second down and 5 here. 3 tight end formation now here for Winfield. Handed the ball off to Derrick Henry, and somehow Henry's gonna get positive 4. It's third down and 1 here for Winfield. He takes the snap. Here comes again Henry. He gets the first down and a lot more. It's now third down and 10 here, trying to avoid the punt. Winfield looks to throw, felt the rush, throws it to the sideline, and it's incomplete. And now we have an opportunity here with Emmett Olsen. And here comes Emmett Olsen out there at quarterback still. We might put Williams back in if we need to throw. And this ball's placed on the ground by Gino Duvall. It's picked up by Jeffrey Simmons going back the other way. This will be a Tennessee touchdown. And yeah, we need Daniel Williams. Oh my goodness. Touchdown Tennessee. They go up by multiple scores with less than 3:30 to go. Tennessee will look to go for 2 to go up by 2 touchdowns here. And I don't know if we're going to have a chance here to come back in today's action. Here comes Winfield. Looks end zone. Caught here by Jake Tomlinson. 2-point good. We're down by 2 touchdowns. Well, Daniel Williams checks back in. Gino Duvall had another big-time fumble we've seen in this episode. And here is Devon Wooden off the screen. He gets 8. It will be a third down and 2 here, needing the conversion. Williams takes the snap. He looks to throw, and he had Brock Morgan. And it's off the marker. Williams faces a fourth down and 2 here. Takes the snap, handed the ball off to Wooden. Wooden, the rookie back, is able to get the conversion, keeping our hopes alive. Second down and 10 here for Williams. As he takes it, he looks to throw again, and he wants Richard Palmer's off the hands of multiple defenders. Third down and 10 here, 2:35 left to go in regulation. Williams takes the snap, he looks to throw, and he has Brock Morgan. Morgan's able to get the conversion. First down and more, Tennessee, or Houston. It's third down and 10 now. Gotta be able to get this conversion if you're William. Looks to throw, he has Tyler, and he stretches out. First down and more. Third down and 10 here, 1:50 to go. Williams takes the snap, looks to throw, trying to get this ball to Richard Palmer. It's off the hands. Now it's fourth down. We got to go for it. Well, this is the ball game here if you're a Houston Texans fan. Williams takes the snap. He looks to throw, slings it over the middle. Richard Palmer keeps the possession going. Daniel Williams trying to will his team to a comeback. Takes the snap, sets up a screen. Now Devon Wooden, the rookie, back with another catch, slings out of bounds for 6. It's third down and 4 here. Williams takes it, looks to throw. He wants end zone. Brock Morgan caught it. We got to go quick. A minute to go now. Williams takes the snap. Here's Pat Vernon, and Vernon's in. Touchdown, Houston. And now with less than 60 seconds to go, can we potentially get an onside kick to send us to OT? And here's the onside kick attempt here for Matt Gay. And if we recover this, we got to find the end zone. It's still recovered here by Tennessee. Brandon Ayuk got it. But we have 3 timeouts to try to stop the clock. And here in Week 18, the Tennessee Titans will be beating the Houston Texans 28-21. The Jeffrey Simmons touchdown recovery really solidified the victory for this Tennessee team. Though, honestly, the backups didn't look too bad out there. I mean, when you have a backup quarterback and a backup fullback playing quarterback, and we put up 21 points over almost 300 passing yards, it's not a bad day here. No, Tennessee had themselves a good day. Quality victory might propel them into the postseason, potentially, so we might be seeing them for a third time. But don't forget, we did play the backups in today's action here. I think it would have been a very different story with Mason Pryor out there. Emmett Olson, I just had a lot of fun with him at quarterback. I mean, why the heck not? Devon Wooden, he had a solid day. Got a lot of players with carries. Richard Palmer caught 8 more passes. Brock Morgan caught 6. He's very efficient as a wide receiver. No sacks allowed. Defensively, Dwight Pianzo finished off the season with a sack, no interceptions. Overall, fun way to end year 5. As we do have an upgrade here for Emmett Olson here, and I'm gonna do it as a quarterback. Why the heck not? We'll go with strong arm for him. I am gonna move him back to fullback. We get +2 deep, +1 medium. Here are his ratings as a quarterback. I mean, what more could you ask for? Solid. Just happy with him. Nate Hitchcock gets an upgrade here. We'll go with power. He's moved around as a lineman. He's played at both guard spots and now at center. He's a solid backup offensive lineman for us. But as we sim now to the next week here, we have simmed to the wild card action here, and we are the #1 seed. This is the playoff picture. The Houston Texans are the #1 seed, the Chiefs are the #2, and the Broncos are the 7th, so Tennessee did not get in. The Patriots are in, same with the Raiders, same with the Ravens, and same with the Colts. On the other side, we have the Cowboys, the Packers, the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Bears, the Seahawks, and the Lions. So this is your divisional. This is the division or the playoff picture. Excuse me. My goodness, I just cannot speak. Been recording for almost 3 hours right now. But overall, what a season. We go 15-2. We have the the second highest scoring offense per game. Weren't the best in terms of passing, but hey, that's okay. Defensively, we were in top 2 in points per game and in rushing. Okay in pass coverage, but what a year for us. Excellent job all around for our team. Let's go through some stats. For Mason Pryor, of course, I threw 20 interceptions, 34 touchdowns, 20 interceptions, 68 completion percentage, over 4,000 passing yards. Very good year, very respectful season. Emmett Olson, he's out there as a quarterback. Daniel Williams added 2 touchdowns. Damian Pierce, who did not play in the, well, he did play, but he didn't really play. 1,500 yards and 16 rushing touchdowns. Pat Vernon added 4 on the ground. Devon Wooden didn't score. Very happy with that. 1,400 yards for Nico Collins. 70 catches, 15 touchdowns. Paul Wilkerson added 67 catches, 1,000 yards, and 12 touchdowns. Richard Palmer, you know what? I feel like quietly had himself a fantastic season. By the end of the year, he became one of my favorite targets to go. It really happened after this Giants game. You know, he really started to put together, accumulate a lot of receptions here. Just happy about him as the #3 option here. Gino Duvall as a rookie, 44 catches, 631 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Calvin Ridley as the third #3 receiver, added 19 and 201 touchdown. So happy about that. Got a lot of players involved here. Happy about that. In terms of the offensive line, the line played great here. Devin Booth allowed the most sacks, but overall, this offensive line had an outstanding season. Scott Washington looks like an excellent replacement to Nate Davis. In terms of defense, Roman Nova led us in tackles. Excellent job with him. Christian Harris led us in TFLs. And then in sacks, Nick Bosa with 18.5. He always hits 18 with us. Dwight Pianzo added 13. Steven Dalton added 6.5. Nova added 6. And John Franklin Myers, who did not play in the last 3 games, he had 6. So who knows? David Elliott added 4. He stayed healthy throughout this campaign. But the thing is that with Elliott, though, you know, as a role player, he added 4 sacks, but I just don't know as a full-time starter if he could really produce. So we'll see in these upcoming seasons. And of course, Derek Stingley leads us with 8 interceptions. Roman Nova added 4, Cooks added 4, Harris added 3, and the rest is history. But Derek Stingley back to his rookie form here. He had 9 in it as a rookie. He added 8 more this season. What a job here for Derek Stingley. Let's go through some rewards real quick, and then we'll wrap up today's episode. Today's a long episode. James Nugent, MVP. We are the Coach of the Year. Tyler Boyd, Offensive Player of the Year. Von Temple, Defensive Player of the Year. Nova right behind. Same with Bosa and company. Carl Brooks, Offensive Rookie of the Year. Gino Duvall got into third. Calvin Cavers here, Defensive Player of the Year, and we do not have anyone there. Quarterback. Don't even see Mason Pryor in the top 10. Running back here, Damian Pierce, number 4. Best receiver, Tyler Boyd. But don't forget, Nico Collinson playing the last game, and he missed some time this year. Paul Wilkerson made it as number 10. Gardner made it in as one of the linemen, wow, as well as Kenyon Green, so that's good. Von Temple, Defensive Lineman of the Year. Bosa right behind him. A couple other notable names. Nova's the runner-up for off-ball linebacker. Stingley, best corner in the league. Knew that was going to happen in Matt Gay. So we had a couple guys who won some awards and some guys didn't. Though, guys, I am not going to be simming next week. We're not going to sim to the divisional round. We're going to start next episode off with that. So, guys, please leave a like. Comment down below what you thought of today's video. It's a long video, I know it is. There's a lot of gameplay in it. It's all over the place. Please leave me any sort of feedback that you guys do have. You know, I'm expecting this video to be a little over an hour long. I've been recording for over 3 hours with this. Let me know down below what you thought of today's action. If you like this type of videos, if you don't, because I might try to incorporate this type of style into Madden 24. Maybe into a smaller rebuild where we want to go a little bit faster. Who knows? Let me know down below, and I will see you in the next one.